Hey guys, I'm Meteorologist Chris Tomer. This is the On the Snow Before You Go forecast, and we're going to start with the satellite view, a very wide view of the Pacific, and I marked the storm track in yellow. That's going to be the hot spot. Right along that storm track, Pacific Northwest, British Columbia, Western Alberta over the next 5 days. That's where most of the heavy snow is going to be. Across the west, we're dealing with this very large area of high pressure, and some of the pressures will be running 2 full standard deviations above the 30-year average, which means it's strong. It will take time for this thing to break down. But it will eventually. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I want to look at the future position of the snow. So this is the future radar. And I'm going to move this into Monday morning. And notice where most of the action is. It's Pacific Northwest, it's British Columbia, Western Alberta, all those areas I talked about. Some very light on and off snows and colder temps for New England and the Northeast there. We're going to see kind of a rain-snow problem. Northern Idaho, Northwest Montana at times. You'll have to go to the very highest of elevations to get the snow. Here's Tuesday morning. It's basically the same thing in many of the same spots. Let's go into Wednesday morning, and you can see where the blue is. It's in many of the same places, bone dry across most of the lower 48 Intermountain West. By the time we get into Thursday, still dealing with that. It does look like by the end of the week, though, Wednesday into Thursday, we're going to have a storm or a front slide through New England and the Northeast. Initially as rain going over to snow. You can kind of see that happening right there as we roll into Friday morning, which means Friday and Saturday could be good skiing in the Northeast. Now, by the time we get into Friday, this is the 3rd of December, there is still nothing across most of the lower 48 Intermountain West, unfortunately. All right, so here is how it's all reflected in my spider chart. This is at a quick glance. I try to include this every week. You get a really a good idea of where the best odds of snow are, and it's many of the same areas as last week. It's Whistler, it's British Columbia, Revelstoke, Panorama, Sunshine Village. It's up towards Revelstoke, and to some degree the highest of elevations around northern Idaho, Whitefish, Schweitzer. You got to go high up, but some of those areas. And then, of course, in the Northeast, New England, with these 2 chances for some light to moderate snow and colder temps out there. That end of the week front, of course, looks warm initially, but then cold air comes in behind it. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it at this point as far as the best odds. And as far as my totals for the West between today, the 28th, and the 4th of December, you can see where the biggest totals are. It's in the Pacific Northwest. It's Baker. It's Stevens Pass. It's up towards Whistler and Revelstoke and over to Sunshine Village and Marmot Basin and Panorama. And some of those numbers you see dropping further south. At the higher elevations, you might get more than that. 3 to 8 inches potentially at the highest of elevations in northern Idaho and northwest Montana. And then eventually beyond this, the 5th or 6th of December, we may see things start to change across Wyoming and in parts of lower southern Idaho and parts of northern Utah and parts of northern Colorado. But that's down the road. That's like the 5th and 6th of December. So that's the west. Let's look at the northeast. So again, basically 2 chances for some light snowfall here. 2 to 6 inches between the 28th and the 4th of December. I'd look towards Friday and Saturday, maybe even Thursday night, but Friday, Saturday for some of the better conditions there between Okemo, Killington, and Jay Peak over to Mount Washington, Sunday River, and Sugarloaf, USA. So there you go. That's the way things are shaking out this week. Tomer's Take, initially in the period, look to the Pacific Northwest, BC, Western Alberta, and then late in the period, maybe swing up into New England. Take care. Again, this is the On the Snow Before You Go forecast. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend.